Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Leavitt just took place in what basically ended up being the main event of the card, because we didn't really get a main event anyway, but this one was in the feature fight position, Pimblett versus Leavitt. I was worried at some points because I do really want Paddy Pimblett to win these matchups. He's very good for the sport. He's a very big name as well. So if he continues to win, we're going to have another superstar on our hands. And that's what I believe we have right now, because Paddy Pimblett blew the roof off the place and got an amazing win by second round rear naked choke over Jordan Leavitt. Now, if he went out there and KO'd Jordan Leavitt on the feet, in my opinion, it would have been less impressive, because that's how you're supposed to beat Jordan Leavitt if you're any good whatsoever. The fact that he was able to out-scramble him and beat him in the jiu-jitsu department and get the back and tie up one of the arms and find the rear naked choke, that's more impressive. That's more impressive to me, because Jordan Leavitt's bread and butter is the grappling, and that's what he was trying to enforce on Paddy Pimblett the entire fight long. And that's what ended up getting him the loss, was Paddy Pimblett reversing position, finding a better position in the grappling, winning the grappling exchange. I think he was threatening like a choke, like a front choke with I don't even know what to say it was. It was almost like a DAS, but a very weird angle that wasn't quite in, and he used that to take the back. He was threatening jiu-jitsu positions. He landed a big knee to the face in that position as well, where he was able to just sort of hurt Jordan Leavitt enough to break down his posture and then take the dominant position in order to get the finish. But that was an amazing win by Paddy Pimblett. He got the job done. I actually gave him round one. I know that might sound a little bit crazy, but I feel like he did the most damage in round one. And there's going to be an argument about Makayev versus Johnson in that regard as well. Everyone gave round one to Jordan Leavitt, but he got takedowns. He got 3 takedowns in round one, and sure, he had control time, but Pimblett ended up mounting him and landing some big ground and pound shots, and had 3 submission attempts with like really tight guillotines in that first round as well. So I feel as though you have to give the first round to Paddy Pimblett. Jordan Leavitt did no damage to him in the first round. No damage. Maybe a knee to the face that partially landed in the clinch or something like that, but Pimblett outlanded him on significant strikes. Sure, maybe lost in the total strike department, but 3 submission attempts and taking mount at the end and beating you up with ground and pound shots to be saved by the bell, basically. That gives him the round, in my opinion. However, it wasn't going good for him. I don't know who the judges scored the first round for, but I wouldn't imagine they would have went towards Paddy Pimblett. It's a risky thing to worry about, because Leavitt had so much control time in that round. But Paddy Pimblett gets it done. A very good performance from him, and I'm so happy about it, man. Good post-fight interview as well. He's going to win over some people with that. I personally, and I had a weird reaction to seeing him talk about what he was talking about in the post-fight speech. I don't like seeing the fighters cry. I don't know, it's just a weird thing for me, because I picture them as like this absolute heroic badass guy, and they're absolutely stoic to a T, and they're never going to show any emotion other than pure rage and anger. So when I see a guy like Davis and Figueiredo cry, it kind of took away the mystique of his savageness for me. But I was kind of annoyed that Pimblett was crying. But then when you find out what he was crying about, it's like, okay, fair enough. You can cry a little bit in the moment here. He had a good reason to. He was doing it for some bigger things that were going on in his life and around him and to people around him and stuff like that. I'm not going to get too much into it, because I don't want to get demonetized by even saying the words that even happened to him. Like, his friend committed, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say that word and just get instantly demonetized. But either way, Paddy Pimblett, Jordan Leavitt, amazing performance by Paddy Pimblett, but it was a really good win. And submitting Jordan Leavitt is a really difficult thing to do. He landed a knee. He was tough in the positions. He stuffed all of the takedowns. And Jordan Leavitt is normally able to get his takedowns on opponents. So that shows good wrestling from Paddy Pimblett to be able to stay on his feet. Or if he does get taken down, get back up to his feet and stuff like that. I was worried in some moments where he was pulling guillotines that, oh my God, is he going to end up on bottom for the entire round against Jordan Leavitt? But he kept finding his way back up, doing good scrambles and working his way back up against the cage and stuff like that. But on the feet, maybe he was worried about the takedowns so much, but I just feel like he should have done a bit more on the feet in that fight, while there were moments on the feet to be had. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, Jordan Leavitt was like pushing him against the cage when he had him there and stuff like that, but even on the feet, like he landed a couple of good front kicks to the body and stuff like that, but maybe a right hand here and there, but he didn't really capitalize on the feet the way I thought he was going to. Jordan Leavitt was really chopping at the legs, and not really chopping at the legs. He was sort of like throwing a bunch of front kicks to the body, and that was his main weapon in this fight. Going to the body with teeps and front kicks. He knew Paddy was going to be rushing in with punches, so he just kept like front kicks and teeps out there to help keep the range and help keep the distance on Paddy Pimblett. And then he landed like a jumping front kick at one point that kind of landed to like the upper chest area of Pimblett, and that was a worry. But even still, Pimblett wins again. And you're not a can if you beat Jordan Leavitt, especially not if you finish him. And he beat Kazula Vargas, who isn't the best, but again, he finished him in the first round and made him look quite easy. And Luigi Vendramini's no joke, and Pimblett beat him as well and won that fight in the first round by TKO with some trouble here and there, I get it. But with the amount of prospects that we see come into the UFC and just lose their debut from the Contender Series, he's not one of them. He's a good fighter. He's 19-3. Please, oh please, oh please, and this is all I'm going to ask for. Great post-fight interview. Everyone's going to be rallying behind you. Do not inflate multiple tens of pounds after this fight. I beg of you. That's all I'm asking, Paddy Pimblett. Please. I beg anything of you. Do not inflate up to 205 pounds again. Let that be the meme that it was. But let's just, gain 5 pounds of fat. Gain 10 pounds of fat. Like, not 30. You know what I'm saying? Let's just gain a little bit of fat. We don't need to see you go Chris Griffin to Paddy Pimblett back and forth again. Because it shows that you're not really going to be improving too much. He is already good. But is he already good enough to not get hurt by a next step up of guy like Ottoman Azaitar, Jim Miller, Alexander Hanak, like, heaven forbid, Garam Kutateledze? Like, you're not ready. They're outside the rank. They ain't even the rank guys at lightweight. It's a problem that Paddy is a lightweight. Paddy has the personality and training habits of a middleweight, and maybe at middleweight you could maybe get by. Maybe. At heavyweight you could get ranked. Who knows? This is lightweight. Garam Kutateledze is not ranked. Demiris Magulov is not ranked. And you're going to be looking at that level of opponent next. I don't know if you are, because I don't know if that's what they're going to do next with Paddy Pimblett's career. And he is good. He's not bottom feeder level. He's a capable UFC level fighter. And he's a good fighter in the UFC. And I feel like he's going to be ranked like top 30. Or something along those lines in the lightweight division. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him next. I doubt it's going to be too much of a jump up. In my opinion, Paddy Pimblett, enjoy a bit of the summer. Enjoy August. You know what I'm saying? Rest of July, start of August. Start trimming the weight down towards the end of August. Get in shape by sort of midway through September again. And then start developing and learning. Because you're not going to be able to learn while being completely out of shape. Because you're not going to learn in the body type that you're in when you fight. Like, you're learning for a different... You're learning how to compete as like a welterweight or a middleweight when you're going to be fighting at lightweight anyway. So all the stuff you're doing, all the movement training on the feet and the combinations and even some of the grappling sequences, you're learning to do that at a completely different weight than what you're fighting at. And I know there's weight cuts for everyone, but his is vastly different because of his weight gain. So let's keep it down. Enjoy the end of July. Enjoy the start of August. Go on holiday 2 weeks, August onwards. Go to Marbella, wherever you're going to go. You're Scouse. So let's go to, I don't know where you're going to go, Mallorca or something like that. Go to a Greek island, chill out for a bit, and then start coming back and getting in shape. Because McGregor's probably going to come back in December or January. And when he does, if they have Paddy Pimblett on that card, it's a recipe for success. McGregor may have one more fight left in this promotion. So when he does, and he may have more if he wins, but let's be real, likelihood is he doesn't win. It's that he's up against the odds because he's going to get tough competition and it's going to be bad for Conor McGregor. But if he comes back, it might be his last time back in the UFC. And we need to make sure that we have all of our guys that could be stars on that card. O'Malley's already at UFC 280. We don't really need to worry about him as much. Maybe he could still come back and fight a contender on the McGregor card if it's in January or February or something like that. But when you have a guy like Paddy Pimblett, putting him on that McGregor card, having McGregor lose but Pimblett win, that stock is going to go all into Paddy Pimblett. People are going to really get behind him. I doubt he fights Anelia Tapuria, who's staying at featherweight now. How about, and this is again risky, but it could work out. The build-up would be fun. A guy who's recovering from injury right now and trying to fight before the end of the year. Alexander the Great Hernandez. The guy who lost to Donald Cerrone, for any Pimblett fans who don't quite know. The guy who got humbled by Cerrone. Big talker. Would make a very entertaining build-up. Dangerous on the feet in the first round. So this would show if Pimblett has developed on the feet enough to stay safe and out of danger. And he's coming off an injury, so it's a good step up for Pimblett to have. Alexander Hernandez versus Paddy Pimblett. Maybe a Jim Miller fight could be good on the McGregor card. Jim Miller's a big name. You need a kind of a name value fighter that's going to warrant Pimblett being so high up on a card. I believe they were going to put Cerrone versus Miller on the main card of the last pay-per-view they were on before they decided against it and put him on the prelims. But Jim Miller is an option. Joe Solecki, I guess. But I feel like Alexander Hernandez or Jim Miller is a good jump up for Paddy Pimblett. And I think that'd be a really good matchup. And then we can start getting to like the Bobby Greens. And that's going to be a problem. But we'll see how he does with them. And the Drew Dobers of the division. And maybe the Garams and the Yoel Alvarezes. Like that. I don't know how he's going to deal with these top level guys. Because lightweights are so good nowadays. Lightweights are so good that the real good ones are just getting jumped into the top 15 immediately. Not top 15, but top 25. And then, like, you're doing like Garam Mateusz. And the winner gets like a ranked opponent. You know what I mean? Like that's the level of quality guys that we have right now. Or the winner gets a guy who's going to get him a ranked opponent. So Pimblett's coming up the slow way. Let's not rush it too quick. It was a great win. The teabag afterwards as well. It wasn't quite an effective teabag because it wasn't over the corpse of Jordan Leavitt. So, of course, you can't quite pull that off with the limitations of what a referee's going to even allow you to do. But it was an effective teabag that he went for. And it worked out quite well. But yeah, good stuff from Paddy Pimblett. Got the job done, got the highlight afterwards, killed the post-fight speech very well, and then had a good performance. He's building a bit of a highlight reel, and it's always good when you get finishes because it's just going to add to your next fight's promotion. It's going to add to the next promotion of your next fight. Going like, okay, this, you know what I mean, you can do this and you can add this in the build-up. We always like to see like a fight build-up and a highlight to show on Instagram before in the fight coming up and stuff like that. So let's just not get too morbidly obese this time, please. You know? Let's just do it. Please. I beg of you. It would be great. We'll see how it goes. Let's not go too quick. I don't know what I just said, to be honest with you. Just then I blanked out looking at the UFC Instagram page. But let's not get too heavy. Keep it trim enough. Keep developing as a fighter. Oh, I've just seen Tom Aspinall, man. It's so sad, man. This sport is so sad. But whatever. It's just two ends of the spectrum, innit, really. But there you go. Paddy Pimblett, an amazing win. Let's have happiness in that at least. I know a lot of people wanted to see him lose, but maybe now he'll start getting some sort of following behind him instead and people not really too angry at him and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll see. I think people are going to start turning around and enjoying Pimblett a little bit more than they were before now that he keeps winning. And let's be real, Jordan Leavitt is a UFC fighter who's 3-1 in the UFC, 10-1 overall. These aren't cans. And I knew Pimblett was going to win because he did good in the first round against Soren Bak, and Pimblett's fought good level competition even outside the UFC. But he's proven that he's not that bottom level. So now just whereabouts is the main question that we're looking at here. He's number 39 ranked. This one's probably going to put him at number 34, just behind Puelles. So he's looking right at the Millers, Hernandez's, those type of fighters. Joe Solecki is a good style matchup. We'll see how it goes. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip, I'll see you later. Goodbye. And for Jordan Leavitt, it sucks, man. Oh well. See ya.